Article 4 of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty commits 189 countries, including Russia and Belarus. According to experts, recent decisions taken in the Kremlin are meant to intimidate nuclear annihilation and thus discourage Kyiv's political allies from supporting the fight in Ukraine. We warned our partners in the West about this, that it was going to happen, and we still talked about it more than a year ago. And at that time, we proposed to develop a strategy to respond to Lukashenko and Putin, who want to place nuclear tactical weapons on Belarusian territory. Unfortunately, our voices were too weak in a situation where the Ukrainian army is close to liberating its territory, or, for example, is close to liberating Crimea. Tactical nuclear weapons may be used in this situation. If indeed we are going to see this kind of move on Moscow's part, because for the time being there is talk, firstly of preparing the infrastructure, and secondly of Ministers Shoigu and Krenin signing an agreement that sets out the rules for the stationing or use of these warheads by the Russian side in Belarus. Moscow, in agreement with Minsk, is bringing in illegal immigrants and sending them to the Belarus-Poland border to attempt to invade the European Union. Yesterday, we revealed 90 attempts to illegally enter Poland from Belarus. Included in this number, which we report daily, are also those incidents when foreigners approach the barrier but are unable to cross it, and our patrols are on the other side. Immigrants try to attack Polish patrols. Most often this happens when they fail to cross the border, they see our patrols, and at that moment they start throwing either stones or branches at them. These actions fall within the scope of hybrid warfare, which involves the interaction of conventional methods, disinformation attempts, and terrorist, as well as cyber attacks. In recent months, Poland has also been the target of powerful cyber attacks, which have been carried out mainly from across our eastern border. Since the beginning of Russia's aggression against Ukraine, their intensity has increased significantly. It is our collective responsibility to spare no effort to accurately attribute all these attacks and bring justice to the cyber criminals. Meanwhile, the Russian Volunteer Corps has announced that it has re-entered the Belgorod region of Russia. The corps consists of dissidents fighting on the side of Kiev. Their goal is to force the Russians to redeploy their forces, weakening the front line. In most cases, there is simply a misinterpretation of the information that the Russian Corps itself publishes, because the Corps, with some delay at this point, publishes photos, materials from this Monday's action, which is simply misread by most analysts and commentators. Moreover, the Russian Corps itself is deliberately trying to mislead the Russians in this way so that they will have to commit even more of their own forces to securing the border. After 5 months of fierce fighting for Bakhmut, Wagner's group took control of the city. Its founder, Yevgeny Prigozhin, announced that the Wagnerians will leave the city by the 1st of June. The mercenaries are to be replaced by regular Russian army troops. The capture of Bakhmut was paid for with the blood of the Wagnerians. Data speaks of 20 or even 40,000 dead. Although the front line at Bakhmut has shifted slightly to the west, Russia has been unable to claim any significant operational success for months. Kiev, on the other hand, is announcing a counterattack. Ukraine's air defense system will soon be reinforced by modern F-16 fighter jets. Air Force spokesman Colonel Yuri Ichnat confirms that dozens of such aircraft will be delivered to Ukraine hangars.